And of course, this is Joseph Parker's wife. And she reveals, according to KO Power, that Joseph Parker hasn't been himself after the loss. Now, the first thing I thought of was, oh no, not another scandal, not another Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz, Dimitri Bivol, Mike Tyson. I hope not, right? But you can look at this in a totally different way. It could just be out of concern, right? The alarming thing is, why would you tell that to the public? You know what I mean? I think that's something that should stay between husband and wife, you would assume, because we all know Joseph Parker's demeanor, right? His demeanor is calm, tranquil, humble, nice, right? So there shouldn't be any reason why something else should come about. Like, this is a question. When have you seen Joseph Parker's wife do an interview? Now, I hope this is false, right? And this is just not garbage. Because even if it's true, I don't think that's the thing to get out. I think that's something that only Joseph Parker should feel inside. And you know he's crushed. You know he's disappointed, but we don't need a cheerleader. You know what I mean? I mean, she may be doing that to, my husband is this because he is that way. And because he is that way, it's like, well, maybe he needs another voice. He lip syncs, for Christ's sake. So maybe that's the case. Maybe it was out of love, but I think she did a bit too much, right? Because nobody talks about, oh, he hasn't been the same. And what are you referring to? Are you referring to how he is at home? Are you referring to just him being down and out? That's how he's supposed to feel. He was in a high-spirited fight, which he was winning in the UK against Fabio Wardley. Fabio hurt him. It was a back-and-forth fight, and guess what happened? They stopped it prematurely. So yeah, he's going to be butthurt. He's going to be pissed off, right? But it's the way he conducts himself, and I think that's something that he wants to portray, right? Not you saying, he hasn't been the same since the loss. You know what I mean? So I don't like that. It's all, to me, it seems like she said a bit too much, and I think, and I don't want to sound like misogynistic, but I think she needs to stay in her place and actually give him comfort, console him, nurture him, those type of things that wives do. You know what I mean? This is what I notice, right? Normally, when a boxer's wife starts talking, it's mostly negative at the end. You might like Robin Givens. When she started talking, eventually it turned into something else. Boxers don't need a voice. That's what the promoter's for. So we don't need an overall cheerleader or spokesman for Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker can speak just fine. It's the way he does it. And I think some people like that, and her doing that, to me, it just comes off as though she doesn't feel that that is, the thing to do, or that was a just enough response to the public, which I agree. Because I was one of the ones that said, damn, Joseph, you should have stayed in the ring. You should have got pissed off like Paula Malignaggi, and you should have said, hey, this is bullshit. I'm in this guy's hometown. I was beating this guy. I was winning on the cards, and they stopped the fight early, and that referee is known for that. You know what I mean? Like something like that. You don't even have to swear. You know what I mean? You don't have to swear to make your point across, but make it stern. There's nothing wrong with being stern because you're angry. It's a natural thing, right? So at the end of the day, I look at Joseph Parker and his wife. I think there could be some drama there, You know what I mean? Because this is not a good look. And again, she could have done this totally out of love. But sometimes it's not how you meant it, it's how it comes off. But you guys tell me what you think of Joseph Parker's wife stating that he hasn't been the same at home or after the fight or both. Rumor or truth? KO Power is the source, people. All right? So if it is false, don't blame me. And you guys been counterpunching.
Peace.